Tonight, we dive into a world where cryptids exist, shrouded in mystery and fear. 8 investigators are on the trail of 8 legendary creatures, each with their own deadly secrets. But can they uncover the truth before becoming prey themselves? In this game of survival, nothing is certain except the thrill of the chase. Welcome to the Drama Does TTRPG 2024 Halloween Special. The Cryptid Chronicles, where the unknown lurks in every shadow, and the hunt for the truth is as dangerous as the creatures themselves. This episode we meet the Obscuron, a mysterious creature that crashes into the ocean from the sky, threatening the Earth. Can a celestial being struggling to blend into mortal life step up and save the planet? Find out with special guest, Eve Chantress.
So, welcome to another session in the Cryptid Chronicles. I am here with the lovely Eve.
Hello, I'm Eve. That starts with an E.
What else would it start with?
You know what? I was asked that the other day and I couldn't answer properly, so
Wow.
I felt like it was fitting.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, you as the person, what you're all about. Do that self-promo.
Yeah, my name's Evangeline. I'm a Sun Enchantress VTuber. I'm chaotic and warm vibes, and we're here to smooch a monster or two.
Yeah. We'll see what happens, because you have the very... I really like the name of this one, the Obscuron, because he just sounds so, like, epic.
He kind of gives me, like, sentry vibes, like big, tall, turret dudes.
Yeah, no, definitely, I think. Definitely a force to be reckoned with, I would say. But yeah... Tell us about your character. Yours is a special one, because you're not human, apparently.
Oh!
You're the only one that is not human, and you are the only female character in this series.
Okay, it threw me for a loop. You know, I just really like to stand out. And as we can tell from this cryptid, supernatural, all sorts of need love too. So my character's name is Evelini. Her pronouns are she and they. She's 4.6 billion years old, and she comes from a different solar system called Solus Majoris. Petite little one at 5'3", a Leo. Her languages are lyrical, English, and nerd, which she learned here on Earth. She smokes, but she doesn't drink. She came to Earth because she was mistaken for a star, and she was hurled from her solar system with no magical tether. She hurled right to our Earth's rotational pull, where she found herself guided by the Earth's sun, and she now vows herself to sort of protect the world and these mortals that reside. They all seem to need a little bit more of a pick-me-up, if you will.
How does she do that? By the way?
Yeah, so she's a streamer.
Oh, okay, right.
She goes out a lot in the daytime. She loves a good farmer's market or a walk on the beach or a park. When the sun's out, the fun's out, and she's the fun. She'll bring the party to you. And at night, she kind of gets into a low-key-ish vibe. You know, the sun is down. She's ready to play some games and still reach through the screens and make sure everyone's got that calm vibe. Her favorite quote is, "Why have average when you can have extraordinary?" 3 things she can't do without are Diet Coke, another mortal vice that she loves, her chest stem, which is her gem in her chest, and head pats. Who can't live without head pat?
You're right. When you're right, you're right.
She likes to spend her weekends, again, I mentioned earlier, she usually is visiting a park, seeking outside sights, or staying inside screaming over the computer. And the first thing that somebody notices about me are my green eyes.
Ooh.
Or the chest gem, but eyes up here, buddy.
At least your eyes and the gem are both green, so, you know, they're just like, oh yeah, I'm admiring the greenness of your eyes. Hi. So, given the current modern day, what would Evelini? Where would she live on Earth? Where would be like a place she would have called home after being grabbed and dragged in?
Yeah, I do see kind of like a beachish vibe, kind of on a pretty populated island. Again, she doesn't want to be anywhere secluded too often. She really kind of vibes with other people's personality. So either somewhere kind of like a big populated island or just on the coast of somewhere.
So, if she's on an island, let's just say, are you thinking that maybe... Are we thinking Australia, as in like a populated island? Or are we thinking like it's an island that has people on it that choose to live semi-secludedly, but like you get shipments of stuff every now and again? That's how she can have a computer and a connection and stuff.
Yeah, it's like a populated large bit of land, but majorly surrounded by water, like Australia.
Alright, so Evelini is the Sun Queen of Bondi, Bondi Beach.
Yeah, she's hanging out over there with a kangaroo.
Oh, I love that. Okay. Alright, cool. So she streams. So what's her following like? What's her fan base like? Do you think she's like hella popular? Like, does she partnered on Twitch?
I think she's been doing it for a little while. She really hasn't been on the mortal realm for too long. So she's kind of taking every opportunity she can to learn from them. So her words might be totally like Sigma based, totally chatalistic, and that's not how you'd use those terms, but she doesn't know. She's doing her best. So I think her chat is a good community, but they definitely bully her a lot.
Right. Okay. Does she have like simps?
She does, and again, I think it's just starting. The more she streams and reaches out, the more they're beginning to peep their heads out. And she's just like, "Hi, that's great. Tell me your drama. I'd love to see this selfie of you. Oh my god, not that selfie, please."
Alright, so the skies darken as a strange, unnatural eclipse consumes the sun. The air grows thick and it goes dark, and the media has named it the Obscuron, a creature that towers over hills, its massive, powerful form casting shadows over the land, and its taloned feet sinking deep into the earth with each step. The face of this creature is shrouded in an impenetrable veil of cloud, hiding its true nature from mortal eyes. The internet is abuzz. Some akinning it to a god, some seeing it as a threat. All they know is one thing: where the Obscuron walks, not much remains. Alrighty, so Evelini, you are in your place of residence with a beachfront view of Bondi in Australia, Sydney, Australia. And you are about 12 hours deep into a 24-hour stream. What's the vibe? What's going on during that stream?
She's probably 3 energy drinks in, and she's locked in. She's here for a good time. I'm going to say maybe it's like her 3rd 24-hour stream. She's
I mean, she's not really mortal, is she? So, like, she could go.
Yeah, I definitely do think she's just picked up on mortal habits, or she's trying to. So, oh, time to take a little cat nap.
And would she just go and nap, or would she just, like, sleep on stream?
She'll like try. She'll be like, okay. Okay, back to gaming, guys.
She's doing her best. She's just...
This is what you guys do, right? I watch streamers. I know how to do it too. I think it's the obliviousness that brings in the people.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So maybe this portion, of the stream, like your viewers are like sending you like pictures of things and like trying to like trick you into calling them things that they're not. Like someone will like send you a soda can and be like, "Oh, look, this is a hat." And like depending on how recent Eve has arrived, I'm sure there'll be times where she's like, "No, I know what that is. I'm not a dumbass. Try harder."
Definitely there's levels. The more obscure like the photo is from a different like country or area, then that might trip her up a little bit more.
So as you're like naming things with chat and chat is sending you things and you're having a really, really good time. It's the middle of the day. So the sun is high in the sky. It's bright. You look out your window, you can see people on the beach, the white sand and, the still calm waters. And as you're waiting for the next chatter to send you the next picture, all of a sudden everything goes black outside, followed by a thud that radiates through the ground, shaking your house. And as you look out to the water, you see like a plume of water coming upwards, as if something had gone and it had come down from the sky and like hit the water. It's just like a massive splash. And then everything goes back. The lights come back. The sun is still up. Then your chat starts to buzz and be like, what the fuck was that? What is that? What's going on? Did anyone else feel that? And you know that your viewers are from all over the world. And what does Eve do?
This hasn't happened since she's been here yet. So there's obviously a bit of concern. We're going to go to Google first and then ask chat, see if they know something. We might go outside. Maybe we'll step outside just to see how everybody else outside is reacting or if anybody's running around screaming.
Okay. So you go outside, put yourself on Be Right Back, like all good streamers do, and you go outside just to the edge of where the beach would start, and you look out. Can you please roll me You're Curious? Okay, a 7. And a 7 means that you succeed, but at some cost. So as you look out, you start to see people are coming out of their homes. There are people that were already on the beach, sort of like coming out of the water. You can see that the shoreline is receding a little bit, which is very akin to how to know that there is a tsunami on the way. And people started sort of like, natter and sort of ask questions, and some people have binoculars. Do you think Eve's eyesight is better than a human's?
Yeah, the glasses that she's got on in her profile picture are definitely fake. No, yeah, slightly. I would say that she would be able to see what they could see without binoculars.
Okay. So as you are looking out, you see that a figure rise on the horizon, like a big, black, hulking mass. People are saying, like, oh my god, it's Godzilla. And as people are sort of being able to sort of see, what this mass is, you start to see sort of this almost humanoid figure standing up straight. And from where you are and how far away it is, it looks massive. Now you're starting to hear more and more tremors in the ground. And you can see that the creature is coming towards the beach. So you get some bonuses for rolling a success on your Curious. And I will tell you what they is. So you get to choose one of these cards to flip over. These are the creature's likes and dislikes, and they correspond to certain gifts. The higher the number on these cards, the more it likes that gift. So what you will need to do is when you get your gift cards from here, they need to be lower than the numbers here. Same suit, but lower. That's more important for the meat creep side. But would you like to pick 1, 2, 3, or 4?
1. 1 is staring at me, yeah.
Oh, the 5 of candles. And candles is wands. And wands represents a creative gift such as poem, art, or music. In order for the gift to be successful, you will need to have a candles card that is less than 5. Okay, so you also need to have some kind of consequence. People are starting to panic. And so your next charming roll will be at a -1. So what would Eve do in this situation? So she's seen this creature come towards the beach. The people are panicking. They're running. They're tripping over each other. They're starting to not really riot, but I guess they're starting to just panic. What will Eve do?
Well, I feel like she knows what the receding water already means in a general sense. So I know she's got this looming gut in her stomach already. At this point, she's probably not going back into the house.
How would Eve feel? Because seeing a creature sort of plummet to Earth, would that remind her of her own experience?
It would, yeah. I was just gonna say because this I feel is similar to how she came. Very much less ominous route, mind you, but she's very curious, but also reserved because nothing like this has happened. And seeing the way that the mortals around her are reacting is also making her much more uneasy.
So what would she do? She's standing there, looking out, seeing the water recede, seeing these panicking people, seeing this creature walk towards them. What does she do?
So she either lingers around and wants to like help get other like tourists or travelers to safety, or she tries to go find like a higher, safer place. So I might combine those two, and maybe she's lingered there for a little bit, but after, I don't know how long he's looming his way forward, but after a good handful of time, maybe she's got a group with her and she's ushering them to somewhere away from Bondi.
Okay, so I'm going to get you to roll deft. Well, the scenario will be that you go down to the beach because you already vowed when you landed here that you were going to protect the mortals, and even though you don't know if this thing is a threat or not, mortals are pretty much a danger to themselves, and you're starting to see them like trip over each other and push each other out of the way, and kids are being trampled on kind of thing. So you go down and you start to pull and help people off the beach, essentially. It was a 3. So you're trying to help. You really are trying. But people are just so panicked that they are shoving you out of the way. You're trying to like reach out a hand to grab them. They are pushing you away. They are knocking into you. You fall down, and you can feel people stepping on you to get off this beach because Bondi is always very populated. Doesn't matter what time of the day, night, or week it is. So there are hundreds of people. And as for the consequence, as you are knocked down, your Nokia falls out of your pocket and is just stepped on and sort of trampled away with the crowd. After a moment, you put your hands over your head, kind of at least protect your head from these people that are running. The beach finally sort of clears and you're able to sit up again, and you see that the creature is really close. It's almost like his size, or its size sort of like, it looks like it's standing on the edge of the horizon and it's like knee height, so it's like knee upwards that you can see. And as you sort of look up, you can start to see that it is a very humanoid definition in the body and the arms. And as you try to look up to the head, you can't make it out because there are just these thick, storming clouds that are looming above its head. And as you sort of pan down to his legs, you start to see that they become really quite slim. So you're not quite sure what's going on with this thing. What does Eve do?
Okay, so she's up now. And the beach is what, pretty empty?
Yep, the beach is pretty empty. People have run back. You've seen that the water's pulled back quite a bit. So it's like some coral and some fish that didn't sort of make it. People's surfboards and swim rings and things like that in the water as well.
I don't want to just stand there, but I kind of want to see it approach. I think we're gonna find like a safe, non-too populated area that I can watch it come closer. Because in her head, we're not thinking it's gonna see us. We're minuscule, tiny. It might feel like the presence that we exude, but she ain't worried about that right now. She's interestedly frightened.
So Evelini was pulled from her solar system. And so she is definitely not mortal. She is otherworldly. Your little sun tiara, is that a cosmetic choice or is that attached to your head somehow?
Cosmetic choice, but the chest gem is not.
Does she have any other gifts or powers that she maybe won't use in front of mortals because that would scare them?
Yeah, I don't want to say that she like turns into a nightlight, but she has this kind of like bright presence around her that does make her kind of glow on command.
So she can glow. Does she like maybe could she grow in size or can she fly?
Okay, yes. So you know how Marshall Lee can kind of hover fly in his human form in Adventure Time?
Yes.
But he can only fly in his bat form, but he can like hover float in human. That's kind of what she can do.
Okay.
She can like King in Seven Deadly Sins it. It's like hover float.
Okay.
Not really fly.
Okay, so she could levitate. And would that mean because she can sort of levitate over the water that she would maybe want to approach the creature, or would she rather go find like another vantage point instead?
Yeah, so the glowy thing is kind of like solar flares. I just wanted to make sure that was pushed together. It's like blind people. Pew, pew. Like starlight
Okay.
in The Boys. But, you know, low key. We're not going to OP her. But I do want her to go out there essentially because she's got this protection thing in her head where these are my babies. I gotta protect them. I am Earth's finest.
So cute. But
when
would
that's
she?
not really.
But would
the
she
case.
rather go for find a higher vantage point to maybe see if she can?
Yeah, I think she's gonna wait on going up to him. I think she's gonna find a safer spot because this guy's coming.
He's coming. Oh Lord, he coming. Alrighty, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw first story card, and we'll see if it's if we can't think of anything to do with that card. It's totally cool. We can do another redraw, but we'll see what happens. Alrighty, we have strength.
Okay.
And strength means a major obstacle falls in your path. It is unavoidable, but it's nothing you can't handle. What is the obstacle and how will you endure or overcome this challenge?
Got trampled on. Do I have another obstacle already?
You do, yeah. Apparently, this is unavoidable.
No reroll for you!
Okay, so Eve hovers up to a cliff that is on Bondi, and to get a better look at this creature as it meanders towards the beach. As he does so, however, his big ol' obscured noggin moves in front of the sun, and things go black again. How does that make Eve feel?
Not as confident as she had been when she could pull energy from the sun.
So does that mean she kind of stops hovering? Is she no longer glowing?
Yeah, she's definitely feet firmly planted on the floor, squinty-eyed, but still, she just wants to know because this guy hasn't attacked, like it hasn't really done anything dangerous, just sort of landed there. Yeah, so she would be weary, but she ain't gonna go anywhere. She's there.
As the world plunges into darkness, can Eve see in the dark, or is this part of her like draining of her powers?
Yeah, I definitely think she uses her light to help in that sense, and I don't think she can at the moment.
Does the light normally come from a gem, or does it like glow all over?
It comes from the gem.
So the gem is not glowing.
Yeah, it's a little dim right now.
So with that, what is Eve going to do now? Because she still obviously has a sense that she needs to protect the humans. It's still coming. It's still you don't know if it's a threat or not, but you do still want to find out more. Even though you don't have the power of the sun on your side at the moment, what do you do now?
How far away is it? Still like deep in the vast ocean, or is it closer to the shore now?
I'd say by now it's closer to the shore.
Do we get a feeling of it? Like, does its presence have any kind of aura on it or anything that we can get a feel?
I'll get you to roll curious. Jesus Christ. You weren't lying when you were like, I will roll all of the low ones. As it gets closer, the only thing you're feeling is just its looming presence. It's not exuding any kind of aura that you can feel. And that's probably because you are blocked. The sun is blocked and you are unable to access the abilities that you would normally have to read creatures. It's still, unfortunately, in the way of the sun. And because of how close it is now, the tremors in the earth, you're feeling them a lot more. It's almost impossible to stand. And you can start to see the buildings behind you start to crack. It's almost like, maybe just a suggestion, you might want to stop him coming to the shore if you can.
Oh, I was just gonna let him come on up and be like, hey, what's going on?
He's gonna just be stomping everything. Everything's gonna fall down. People are in those buildings, damn it. I want to protect you, but if you're in a building, fuck you.
She's gonna go typical white girl in a horror movie. She's gonna go down those stairs right towards the monster.
Yay! We love that for you. I think what we'll do is we'll pull out another card because you're suffering with no sun. So we'll see if this takes us in a different direction. Oh, look at that! The sun! So apparently, the sun is you discover something which rarely fails to calm the creature and put them to sleep. What is it? How adorable do you find this discovery? And how did you discover the calming thing?
Okay, I got it. What if she knows him from her solar system?
So as you are running along the beach, you kind of stop and you kind of look up for a moment. Now that it's closer, you're kind of getting a bit more of a view of what they look like. And from what you thought, it was just like a giant human. As it kind of gets closer, you recognize this creature. From the black bird taloned feet up to the clouds surrounding its head, you know that these were the guardians of your solar system that you came from. So Eve has magical powers. Does she have powers that she's able to project her voice with?
Yes, in more or less sense.
I'll get you to roll charming to see if you call out to it. What would you say to it if you called out to it?
Great, Kieran! Greetings from your enchantress! Could you just scooch on over just a little bit for me? And I'll be right over there. Just scooch just a little bit.
If you're looking for a podcast adventure, check out Dumbs and Dragons, a podcast where improvisers and comedians who've never role-played before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. Dumbs and Dragons has been featured on the official Dungeons and Dragons podcast, ranked number 2 of all fiction podcasts in America, and has been downloaded more than 4 million times. Dumbs and Dragons can be discovered anywhere hilarious podcasts can be found. It's like Lord of the Rings, if everyone was an idiot.
Debtors in Time, an Echoes of Chaos adventure, where debtors are sent back through history to retrieve artifacts for the insatiable Ignatius Thorn. But when Thorn calls upon once trusted Tucker Ridley, son of his greatest foe Ryan's son, and reluctant rebel icon Elena Haynes, the game changes. Tasked with collecting relics from the past, will they succeed, or will their meddling alter the course of history forever? Debtors in Time. Listen now on YouTube and Spotify.
Okay, so you call out to it and you sort of say, get out of the way. And you rolled over 10, which is great. So, charming wise, as you say this in your projected voice, the creature kind of stops dead. And the tremors stop and there's just that weird kind of silence for a moment. And it then shuffles to takes one massive step to the left. And you start feel the sun on you again, and the world once again fills with light. How does it feel to feel the sun again?
Very much just rejuvenation. She's just elated to be greeted by the warmth of the sun again, and it lifts her up slowly off the ground to where she's hovering, just slightly, no more tremors. Her chestum is green, it is bright again, and she is going to try to get over into the water to where he is at.
Alrighty, what I might do is I might grab another story card.
Okay.
Get through it. Ooh, the Hanged Man. So the creature shows you the world as they see it. What is the magic carpet ride moment you share with them? And how is your own perception of yourself, of the creature, and the world altered by this experience?
So to him, she does not look like her human form. She looks like a big, bright, spiky ball of star-like energy. The world, I think he's showing her usually what the majority of anyone not from Earth, like these realms, would see mortal behavior. Like the drasticness of the world, the hostility, the death, the war. He's very much leaning on negativity of the world and not something that she would do, which is lean on the positive of the world. And I think there's a lot in there that he is showing her that she was not informed of, hence her being changed.
Yeah, okay. I can see that. That's interesting. Okay, I like it. Also, you succeeded in your charming, so you get some presents. You get to add a point to your Kiss Me score for succeeding in your charming roll. And you can get a clue card, so it could be a potential gift. And you have the Two of Crypts. We haven't revealed a Crypt card yet, but as long as it is higher than 2, you should be fine. Okay. So, as you're hovering towards him, you're levitating over the water towards him. Would you say that Eve is kind of elated that she's seeing a familiar face? So she's kind of like zooming.
Extremely much, yeah.
Okay. I want you to roll deft for me, please, for your zoomins. She gets a little too excited about zooming. So she gets so excited zooming that she didn't actually really wait to be powered up by the sun. Like she was without sun for quite a bit as she was running down from the cliff and onto the beach and things like that. She kind of stops short and just like falls into the water. For about where she ended up falling, it would have been off like the continental shelf. So there is no ground underneath her. There's no sand. There's nothing solid. So do you think Eve would be a little out of her depth with this?
No, very much so. She's definitely out of her depth.
So what I would like you to do is to call out to the creature again and use your charming to see if maybe he's going to rescue you. That's okay, you rolled a 10, and because you passed your charming, so you get another Kiss Me, and you get another gift card. And this one is the 4 of Crypts. So as long as the Crypt card is less than 4, and Crypts associates with cups, and cups is like an emotional gift, such as a heartfelt word, speech, or direct affirmation. Just something to keep in mind. So what do you say to this creature to try and get him to help you?
She's sort of thrashing in a little tiny baby panic at the moment. She's gonna again greet him by his name. I feel like there's a big power when using creatures and beasts' names. And she's gonna say, "Great Obscuron! Please drop your hand. Help me up so we can talk."
So as you do that, his ginormous hand comes down and kind of like scoops you up like cupping in a cupping motion. And you are tiny in compared to these ginormous hands. So, these just big meaty hands. And he lifts you up and takes you face to face, quote unquote face to face, because you can't see his face because of the cloud. It's a very much like just a swirling of black and greys, and there's some flashes of lightning every now and again. No thunder, just lightning. And as he's holding you, you feel the air, the thin air that is up as high as he is. And it's so very refreshing because you can also feel more of the sun. And it's almost like the Obscuron kind of knows this and kind of like holds you out a bit more towards where the sun is so you can recharge yourself. As he's doing this, you start to feel in your mind images appearing. And you know that the Obscurons are able to telepathically communicate with sun people like yourself, but they don't use words, it's always pictures. And so as you're charging, you can feel more and more these images coming into your mind. And what the Obscuron is trying to show you is the world that you're living in now. And he's showing you the war, the pain, the hunger, the death, the fact that these creatures turn on each other And it's almost like he's asking why you're here.
No, I think we're gonna do a mixture of both. I think we're gonna try to kind of do what we normally do when we're just out and about trying to spread joy to other people, but we're gonna turn it to the Obscuron and just kind of say, like, I know these are the things that you see going on in these mortal worlds, but there's more to them. So much more that you could ever see just by the first world's blink. And then she's gonna kind of do that Renesmee hand thing, touch his skin. Ooh, wink, wink. And then I think we're gonna flash pictures back to him, but showing him, you know, all the fun memories that not only she's experienced, but the things that she's witnessed since she's been here as well. You know, showing him the other side, you know, how in-depth mortals can really be.
Might draw another one of our story cards, see what happens. We'll go from there. Oh, look, if we had the sun, now we have the star.
My family.
You're beginning to think this whole endeavor is fruitless. Many others have tried to find and prove the existence of the creature before. Why should you be the one to succeed? In a moment of doubt, what is it that renews your drive and inspires your hope? So I would say, like, maybe in response to that, like, the Obscuron doesn't receive your information and kind of just pushes back really hard against your pictures, showing you all of the pain and the death and the, you know, just kind of being like, dude, fuck. And then he would also maybe even show you images of him destroying the Earth, as in he was sent here to destroy the planet.
Well, we're gonna let that happen. We're gonna make that very known immediately off the bat. A little pat. No. Rolled up newspaper. No.
Bap him. Be like,
yeah. Do not think like that.
I'm gonna get you to roll deft to bap him.
Oh, no. Gotta be my own.
He does not feel the bap.
Not to me. It's just to make a point.
He sees you sort of like try to whack him and kind of not see what he's trying to tell you. So true to Obscuron form, when they are given an order from a higher up, they proceed to fulfill that order, no matter what. And that was your deft. So you're gonna get -1 to your next roll as a consequence. He tried to prove his point and you basically said no. So he opens his hands and drops you back into the ocean from the height that you were at.
He praised me. I got sun in my bones now.
So you wouldn't hit the water?
No, because he held me up there the whole time during this transaction, so I've been powering up.
Okay, so you basically sort of just stop short just above the water, just before impact, and he begins to start walking towards the shore again. What are you gonna do? It's an Obscuron. He's a sleeper agent. He's been ordered to kill all humans. He's fucking sexy. He's ripped. What are you gonna do about it?
We're gonna zoot on up to his shoulder, if we can, and like pop a squat on his shoulder, like when you would have a angel and devil next to you, kind of like that.
Okay, I'll let you do that. What's the plan?
She's gonna just continue to try to like flood him with just her own experiences, so they're more heartfelt that time, and try to talk some sense. You know, like, sure, there's some higher in commands up there right now, but it's me. You would go so far as to ignore my rule just because I've been away for a short period of time? It's me. Take that happy memory and that happy memory. Yeah, I'm giving him the memories.
Alright, roll your charming.
10.
Still a success. So as you're sitting sort of up there and you're trying to send as much positive information that you can to this creature, it stops again, just shy of the shore. Its talons sort of digging into the beach sand. Is there any particular positive thing that you would want to send to him to, I I guess, like, drive home the idea that maybe humans aren't all bad. Maybe like a concept of some kind.
Yeah, I was gonna try to show him like love, you know, like a budding romance in the stages of how cute it is in the beginning, and then the desperation each other of them having for each other, and the want and will of keep living for that person. Does that make sense?
So you send those images to him, and he stops, and the clouds around his head kind of like fade into a bit more of a white. And he sends some mental images back to you of you and him doing the things in the memories that you sent him. How does Eve react to that?
I definitely think she'd be surprised, but not like alerted. Like it was an option that had always been around, but due to their titles of where she stood in her world and him being the guard of the world, she never really thought that was ever something that could happen. But now that she's seeing it, she's definitely inclined.
She's not in her hometown, her home planet anymore.
So fuck the title.
Apparently so.
Especially with everything that Eve's been kind of learning here on Earth, that just kind of like love and happiness and warmth has just been so budding within her. That's something that she really wants to find as well, which is kind of why I think that's the image that she decided to show, because it's something that she's really hung up on.
Would Eve back on her home planet have thought about hooking up with a guard? For lack of a better term. Like, what is the hierarchy like back home for her? Like,
no, that's what I said. It was definitely always something that she thought of that was on the table, but due to those drastic like differences and stances of hierarchy, that was just not something that she ever anticipated in like going towards. But now that she's not there, like, this is an option. Like, I never would have turned you away if you had come to me, or if I wasn't as scared as I had been, I would have reached out to you type thing.
So you succeeded in your charming role. So you get another +1 to your kiss me. So you should have like 3. And you get another gift card. Alrighty, another one. Let's go with the temperance. You're becoming concerned that your feelings for the creature are one-sided and that perhaps you've been too subtle. What is a way you can communicate to the creature your intentions and your interest? How can you let them know that you are investigating them for a positive and safe reason? And how can you do this without putting yourself in immediate danger of being murdered or extinguished?
We here for the slow-budded romance.
You and the Obscuron are having this, like, a mindfuck session where you're sending cute pictures to each other of you guys doing cute things. It's like a picture of you guys baking, but it's like you in a kitchen and him just like giant, like his legs like beside you. You guys are doing like just cute things and stuff. But all of a sudden, the clouds around his head become dark again, and the lightning starts to crackle and fizzle. And those images of you guys being cute and shit together disappear very, very quickly. And the images of his instruction kind of come back in full force. And it's almost like overwhelming. You can feel that he's fighting it. However, he is an Obscuron with orders. She's trying to fight this urge. You can feel his body starting to tremble as, you know, he seems to be fighting the call of duty versus the call of his heart. How are you going to help him?
I'm repeating his name, trying to, you know, soothe him and get his attention and encourage him to fight and know the truth, and then I'm gonna smooch his cheek.
I'm gonna smooch him?
He's gonna get smooched!
Alright, you have to roll death for that, unfortunately.
Oh no!
Heckin' 1d6 smooch, please. It could be a 6. There's options.
Yeah.
Fuck. Alright, so you go in for the smooch. However, the creature is so overwhelmed that his hand comes up to his shoulder and he bats you off, sending you flying into the sand of the beach below.
I know that hurt his heart.
It might have.
That had to shake himself out of it.
It might have hurt him to have to do that. Or he might have felt nothing because he's a machine. He's more machine than man. And so as he's sort of trudging forward again, the earth's shaking, you start to see him pushing over the buildings in front of him on the beachfront of Bondi. People are screaming, people are running. Are you screaming and running?
Yeah, I'm shrieking after him, so he stops.
Oh no. So yeah, so what are you doing? What's the plan, Stan?
We're gonna try to zap him a little bit. Like, we're gonna zoom out in front of him. We're a little winded because that was quite a long fall. We just got flicked off his fucking shoulder, especially after having just a cute minute. I was not prepared. So with the wind knocked out of us, we're gonna try to zoom out in front. Our little hands are gonna just try to push against this ginormous, huge Obscuron's chest. And just continue to just scream out for him, and hopefully something that we say or show him could get him to snap out of that, at least for a couple of minutes again. Because when he's white cloud minded, I have a bit of a upper hand in that scenario, in that situation. Like desperation, like you have to listen to me. Like, wait, this is my home right now. These are innocent people. Think about us. That's it. That's the key word.
Roll your charming. Alright, so you got a 9. A 9 is a success. Again. Oh, you get to draw the thing from the thing. Yeah, and you have there's more crypt cards. Amazing. That's 8 of crypts. Also, because you're super fucking close to maxing out your Kiss Me thing, we're actually almost at the end of the game. Alrighty, the meat creep section. Normally how this would work is you would use your deft and your charming and your curious to roll against situations that I give you, and you would have to beat the number that is on the card. So it's not like you get a 10, so it's automatic success. If the card is not a 10, if it's higher than a 10, you win. If it's lower than a 10, you lose. Once you unveil all of the gift cards, which you can still do in this section, and you feel like you can't win against a certain roll, you will be able to use one of these cards in order to basically fudge a roll and get an automatic success. However, you only have to succeed one time right now to win the game. So you just used your charming, which is fine, which was your best stat. The Obscuron stops again, and you can see his hands ball into fists as you sort of levitate up to his obscured face. You can see that the conflict, you can see the clouds go white and then black again, and then the lightning and going grey and swirling.
She's relentless too. She's not stopping her tries either.
No, I assume not. But you only have curious and deft at your disposal. So, what? Also, you got 3 in Kiss Me, is that correct?
Yes.
That 3 in Kiss Me is a +3.
In what?
It for your roll. Whatever you roll, you get a +3.
Okay, I'm gonna use deft next.
Okay, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna, keep brace him, try to stop him from doing any more destruction. No more walking. Stay. Just sit, boy.
Just sit, boy. Okay, so roll your deft, and you will need to beat an 8. But you get a +3. It could still work out.
No. This is it. No! You know what? Strength isn't my strong suit, okay? I'm not a very violent person.
You need to add a +1 to your kill me score now, because you failed. So you kind of just like I said, he's still just trembling, he's still shaking. He's trying to put one foot in front of the other. And so what are you going to do now? You now have Curious and Charming at your disposal.
I kind of just want to keep myself on my toes and try for Curious. We're here now. I'm here now. We can be together. No moms, dads, rulers, kings, stars telling us what to do and how to do it. Just us.
That'll land. Plus you get a +2, which is 12, which doesn't really overly matter because you succeeded. You heckin' did it.
I heckin' it.
You did. So you get to add the last dot to your kiss me, and now we are in the end game. So you ask him, would he stay here with you, away from all of the politics, all of the rules, all of the hierarchy of the Solaris Majoris system, the oppressive nature of the system, which you have found joy and peace and happiness away from. You show him again all of the wonderful things that you've learned about this planet.
I'm also going to show him images that he sent to me of us. Like, look at this. You want to do this again? So do I.
And the Obscuron cups his hands and, lifts you up again. And the clouds around his head are white, they're fluffy, they reflect the sun from behind. You can see a little rainbow in it. It's cute as fuck.
It's like a little emotion cloud.
It is. He's feeling very, very, very emotional. And what is the perfect ending for this story? You tell me. How does Evelini and the Obscuron continue their lives here? Or do they just fuck off and do something else?
Oh, I definitely don't think he's safe here. So I think we fuck right off. To another habitable solar system, I feel. But we go with Eve ready to see how big the Obscuron is.
He's so big. He's huge. As the Obscuron confirms his feelings for you, he again presents you with the images, and it is not out of anger now, it is not out of duty, it is not out of wanting to destroy, it's just more concern. And he, it kind of shows her that things that are like him, things like Bigfoot and the Kraken and Godzilla are not treated well here. And he's asking if she would like to go with him and explore the universe together.
Sir?
Just gonna leave those simps behind and Twitch stream and everything, just sayonara?
I mean, some pretty monumental cataclysmic entities came down from the sky. Would that not be an amazing retirement if she just was never seen again?
Yeah, it would be.
Just because if she didn't lose power, if Bondi didn't lose power through all that, that's still going. That stream's still up. She just dipped out of the house.
So as the Obscuron and Eve take to the sky out into the stratosphere and into the solar system, back on Bondi, in the house that surprisingly didn't get too affected by the earthquakes and the storms, the computer is still running. And even hours and hours later, days and days later, it is still on the BRB screen.
No, there's no B. No, she just up and stepped out. It's still going.
Still going. So just...
I think maybe she might be asleep for the first few hours. Like, they were worried, and then maybe she's asleep, and just... What happened?
What happened? Nobody knows. It's a mystery.
Sexy mystery. A huge mystery.
Oh yeah, it was a huge mystery.
Thank you for tuning in to the Cryptid Chronicles as part of the 2024 Does TTRPG Halloween Special. A huge shout out to TadhgtheBard, the brilliant mind behind OK Cryptid. Be sure to check them out on Twitter. If you enjoyed this episode and want more, don't forget to follow Does TTRPG wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also follow the Cool Cids Club on Twitter at Cool Cids Club. That's COOLCIDSCLUB for all the latest updates on upcoming episodes. And of course, if you want to help us grow, please like, rate, comment, save, and share this podcast with your friends. We appreciate your support. Until next time, stay curious, stay spooky, and keep exploring the unknown.